Hey, Mr. Wiedmer here, my partner Darth Tater, and today we're going to talk about Unit 5.5, US Interest in Asia. Now, I decided to rename this 5.5 instead of 5.4.2 because it really is a completely separate topic here with US imperialism. So we're going to finish imperialism, review the unit, and get you all ready for the test. So, you guys be able to analyze the United States' involvement in East Asia in the early 20th century. So, the balance of power in East Asia. Roosevelt, he felt that his power was weak, that the United States needed to be more of a presence in Asia. And so since we got this new nice fleet of Navy ships, these islands in the Pacific we can refuel, we can now make a stronger presence in Asia. So, China at the end of the 19th century was really looking kind of weak. It was kind of an economic downturn. Things aren't going good, and so basically these European powers were descending on China, just preying on its vulnerability, and wanted to make a lot of money from that. So, in 1898 through 1899, Russia, Germany, France, Great Britain, they all are going to force China to lease ports to them, so they'll have a port in China so they can get all these goods from Asia, easy transport, and go back to Europe. Now, these leaseholds were expected to be a center of the sphere of influence in the region, where these, Great Britain or Russia or whoever it may be would have a sphere of influence. They would control this area of China for economic development. Basically, it's breaking China apart, kind of like they just did to Africa with the scramble for Africa when they broke Africa apart by the European powers. So now they're going to do the same to China. They're going to break that apart between the European powers. But Great Britain and the United States don't like this too well. They're opposed to that. Even though Britain gets a portion of it, they're kind of opposed to it. What they want is an open door policy where anybody can come in. The door's open. Where anybody can come in and trade in whatever port they want to trade in, whatever part of China they want to trade in, and anybody's open for that. So the U.S. and Britain want an open door policy when it comes to China. Open door. And here's China and all the ports, as you see here, that the different countries would have, and then they would get rich and have their spheres of influence and get rich off of whatever they trade and make a trading empire in Asia based out of China. All right, but many Chinese citizens did not like the foreign countries coming in and telling them what to do and changing ideas and customs, because China is a very old school type of country, very rich in history and tradition, and they don't like that to change. And so we're going to have here these boxers. There's this secret society who really did not like foreign countries coming in and changing things. Primarily, they want to get rid of the influence of Christianity and these Christian missionaries. So they killed several missionaries, and they just do not like the influence that the Western countries, European countries, the United States have on China. And so a false statement was printed about America wanting to dismantle a Chinese monument, and all heck broke loose, and China, is going to declare war on, several different nations. Everyone who's in China, Britain, Russia, Germany, United States, France, they're going to get, go to war against these, it's all because of the Boxer Rebellion. And so the Boxer Rebellion broke out, killed more than 200 foreigners. Remember, they want to get rid of foreign influence in China, and so they're doing whatever it takes to do that. And so they killed more than 200 foreigners. Our Secretary of State goes over there and was like, whoa, you guys need to chill out. Let's stop this violence. And he was able to negotiate a deal that prevented full-scale retaliation and violence against the foreign powers. So there's a Boxer Rebellion for you. This group decided to get rid of foreign influence in China. Alright, then we come to the Russo-Japanese War. This is very important, especially when it comes to World War II. Okay, the growing Japanese empire really gets to start here with this Russo-Japanese War. Then Japan, this war affects them when it comes into World War I. So this war really affects, the future world wars. Like I said in the last unit, a growing mistrust of Germany began, and now Japan's growing up. So you can see the seeds of these world wars just really, being integrated within history here. The seeds are being laid, seeds are being sown for a future conflict. Alright, so in 1893, Japan established protectorate over Korea. And so Japan has eyes on Manchuria, and Russia's like, whoa, we already had that territory, you can't take it. Japan's like, well, watch us. So they ended up having a war over Manchuria, over land. And so Russia's going to move into Korea. Japan wants to move into Manchuria. We have a Russo-Japanese War of 1904. And Japan won victories over Russia in both land and sea. Japan pretty much, whooped Russia. And Russia went, go lick its wounds, which really hurt them when it comes later on in the World War I, when they're really lenient on what to do to protect their Slavs, their interest in the Balkans. As you see here in the map, Japanese armies is advancing all over. Here comes the Russian fleet, Japanese fleet. It's just, Japan's superior here. Here's Manchuria, alright, right up here. And this is what Russia and Japan's fighting for. And also Korea. Alright, so Treaty of Portsmouth. What's going on, though, what's going to happen is old TR, Teddy Roosevelt's going to insert his opinion, insert himself. The United States is going to insert ourselves into this matter. And Roosevelt's going to negotiate a peace treaty. He's known as the peacemaker to end the Russo-Japanese War. So big ups to big old TR here. So Japan would give up claims for money indemnity, which is payment for damages. So, okay, I'll give up my claims for my land of Manchuria. You pay for all the damages. And Russia would give up the southern half of Sakhalin Island. And Japan would then take over Manchuria. So, Japan gives up some claims. They get money. So, Japan gets money and Manchuria out of this deal. Okay? And Russia, they really don't get a lot. Because, well, they lost, and to the victor goes the spoils. So Treaty of Portsmouth ends the Russo-Japanese War. Alright, little review over 5.5. China being partitioned off between leading powers of the world. Britain and U.S. favored an open door policy of China, which would allow free trade to all. Boxer Rebellion, Chinese secret society opposed foreign influence, primarily Christianity, and rebelled against foreign nations. Russo-Japanese War over influence in the region. Teddy Roosevelt negotiates peace treaty between the two. The Treaty of Portsmouth really puts old Teddy in the limelight around the world. And the Empire of Japan begins to form with this victory. The seeds of an empire are born out of the Russo-Japanese War. Okay, now time for Unit 5 review. Let's review over Unit 5 here. 5.1, we talked about imperialism, isolationism. Where's the United States going with this? And as we all know, imperialism won. And reasons why the U.S. expanded. Well, national honor, we're as good as any other European nation. So we can do what they do. Foreign markets, hey, we have a lot of goods and food we can ship to these foreign markets, make a lot of money. Americanized, hey, our way of life's awesome. Let's go make it, force it on someone else. Stronger Navy. So we get a strong Navy, we can have an empire. All great countries have a strong Navy. Let's go get some islands, we can refuel fleets, we can have a power in Asia. Social Darwinism, hey, survival of the fittest. Densely populated island, United States, let's trounce them. Social Darwinism. And then the frontier is gone, we need somewhere else to move, somewhere else to, expand. Right, U.S. purchases Alaska and annexes Hawaii. Alaska, Stewart's Folly, ends up being a great deal. Hawaii, we had a struggle. They didn't want us there, but we kind of needed it, and so we took over. We're going to form Pan-American Union to countries of Latin America. to help each other out. Monroe Doctrine being challenged, and U.S. steps up to the plate to protect the Monroe Doctrine and what it stands for. 5.2, Cuba won independence from Spain. We wanted Spain to grant them a wish. Spain's like, not gonna happen. Alright, yellow journalism caused war fever in the United States. Like, we gotta get rid of Spain. We gotta go to war with Spain. War, war, war. So, what happens? Well, our battleship blows up, and the newspapers blame it on Spain. It had nothing to do with it. It was just a fuel leak. Blew up. They said that Spain planted a bomb in the ship, and it caused it to blow up. False. But this yellow journalism, it really heightened the war fever, which basically caused the war. So the Maine blew up by Spain, causing the Spanish-American War. Right? The U.S. did not lose a single battle. Woo, yay, America. And Treaty of Paris, once again, Treaty of Paris, signed in 1898. U.S. gained Guam, Puerto Rico, Cuba, and Philippines. Tell amendment states the U.S. intention in Cuba, basically saying, when we win the war, you become independent. 5.3, U.S. gains the Philippines and Cuba after the war. Filipinos rebelled against U.S. imperialism, killing many soldiers. U.S. retaliated by killing many more Filipinos. What are we going to do with Cuba? Well, we have the Platt Amendment. It's the U.S. plan for Cuba. So Cuba cannot make treaties that hurts them. Cuba must lease naval bases U.S. such as Guantanamo Bay, still used today. No debt that they can't pay, and U.S. has the right to interfere and intervene to protect Cuba. Right? The U.S. kept Puerto Rico and used to make it a territory, and after the Philippines, the acquisition of territory ended after the debacle of the Philippines. 5.4, McKinley assassinated shortly after re-election in 1900 by an anarchist in Buffalo, New York. Theodore Roosevelt became the youngest president ever, age 42. Roosevelt's main goal was to make a canal through Panama. He achieved this goal by helping a Panama rebellion against the Colombians. Roosevelt Colliery basically gives Monroe Doctrine teeth and adds the use of force if necessary if Monroe Doctrine is violated. Taft's dollar diplomacy. The U.S. must protect business interests around the world. If their business interest is threatened, the United States will intervene. 5.5, China being partitioned off between the leading powers of the world. Britain and the U.S. is like, wait a minute, we don't like this. Let's have an open door policy instead, where anybody welcome. All are welcome. All are welcome. So we have the Boxer Rebellion, where these Chinese secret society members, Chinese, do not like foreign influence on their culture, primarily Christianity, and so they rebelled against the nations. Russo-Japanese War over influence in the region. Teddy Roosevelt negotiates peace between the two with the Treaty of Portsmouth, and the Empire of Japan begins to form with this victory. So, there's my sources, and there you have it. There's Unit 5, Imperialism. The United States goes from being isolationists, which the Founding Fathers wanted them to stay, into being a world power, into being imperialistic. And we just continue to grow and grow with World War I, World War II. After World War II, it's just us and the Soviet Union, the two leading superpowers of the world. So you see, all this imperialism is leading up into the world wars. Alright, if Europe can do it, we can do it. Go America. And until next time, I'm Mr. Wiedmer. This is Darth Tater. And study history.